Cutter 6743, line up runway 24 left. 1 up 34 left, that's 6743. Cutter 6743, contact departure 1135 right 6, clear takeoff runway 24 left. Clear takeoff 24 left, 125, 46, 12465 airport. I'm sorry, 13465. Cutter 6743, Roger, know that you're all traffic 2 miles per hour. 6743. Thank you, good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. And today I'm going to be doing something completely different. I've been running this channel since 2017, and for the first time, I'm going to be reviewing something that isn't a diecast car. I'm going to be reviewing a model plane. So this right here is a 1/200 scale Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3. And you might be wondering why I'm reviewing this plane. Well, if you check the date of my video, you'll realize recent events led to me suddenly remembering that I had one of these, which I had purchased way back in 2013 actually. I think I paid 30 euros back in the day, plus shipping, which is pretty cheap considering that planes of this size usually go for multiple times that if they are made out of diecast. But this one isn't. It's actually completely made out of plastic, which is like the downside. It also comes with a stand, which I will show you later, but let's get on with the review. The C-17, Army guys will know, is also known as the Big Grey Moose. And this is primarily a cargo aircraft and a troop transporter, but also a medevac.
The C-17. The C-17 Globemaster, known to its crews as Moose. This big gray beast is the most flexible military transport aircraft in the world. The C-17's cargo compartment is a whopping 18 feet wide by 12.5 feet high.
And development of the C-17 began in the 80s by McDonnell Douglas before Boeing took over. The idea was to design a plane that was both tactical and strategic in its operational capability. And what I mean by tactical is its ability to deploy in combat zones with limited runways, and strategic by still being capable of long-distance flights. Because prior to the C-17, the way the US military operated was they'd have long-distance planes bring cargo from the US to large bases, and then unload and reload it to smaller planes that would get the equipment to the front line. And that two-step process took a lot more time and manpower than designing a plane that could accomplish both. The C-17 was launched in 1991 and has been operating ever since, and used by half a dozen different countries in the world, like the US, UK, Canada, Australia, India, the UAE, Qatar, and Kuwait. So here's a look at the front of the Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3. And you can see that it has the Royal Air Force livery. I think this manufacturer only made it in the Royal Air Force livery because if you want the US version, or some of the others, you'd have to get the 1:200 Gemini version, which is like way more expensive. But the cool thing about this C-17 is that it's a massive plane that only requires 3 crew. 2 pilots to fly it, and a loadmaster to supervise how much cargo it can carry and how to load and secure it. Now the cool thing is that the cockpit windows are transparent on this model, but on the much more expensive 1:200 Gemini, they're just gray squares that are painted on. So apart from the price, that's one of the few advantages this model has over the Gemini, because unfortunately this entire model is made out of plastic while the Gemini is full diecast. Right up here you can see some markings, and in the middle is the fuel receptacle, which allows the aircraft to refuel from an air tanker. And here's a look at the side of the C-17 Globemaster 3, and it's just a massive aircraft. The wingspan of this beast is like 51 meters. Now, if you look underneath the turbines, you can see that the landing gear is actually deployed. But sadly, these flaps can't close, so you cannot, pull the landing gear back in. That would have been really cool if that made that feature. The C-17 is propelled by 4 Pratt & Whitney F117 turbines, each of them capable of 41,000 pounds of thrust. The plane is capable of achieving a top speed of 1,080 kilometers per hour and a range of around 5,000 kilometers. So it can basically fly from the US to the Middle East with just one refueling stop in Europe, for example at the Ramstein base in Germany. But the C-17 can be refueled while in the air, and so has the capability to stay airborne for days. And here at the back you can see that it says ZZ171, which I believe is the serial number of this plane, like in real life. And we have this massive tail fin up here with the Royal Air Force mascot, I think. And of course the red and blue colors of the British Armed Forces. The aft ramp unfortunately does not open, although it does on the Gemini version, but the Gemini is like $120, probably more. And finally, as promised, here's the model on its stand. The stand is also made out of plastic and is static, so it doesn't allow for any posing. But the aircraft is angled upward, so it looks like it's taken off. And you can see the underside of the aircraft here, with all the wheels on display, and the front wheels as well. And now if we take a closer look at the base, you can see that it says United Kingdom 2010 Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3 in the 1/200 scale, and with the Union Jack above. So yeah guys, pretty cool model I'd say. An important workhorse of the US Army and several other nations. So if you're willing to compromise on material and settle for lightweight plastic instead of heavy die-cast, and if an opening cargo ramp at the back isn't super worth it to you, especially one whose hinges can loosen over time and not close properly anymore, then by all means, get this one and save a ton of money. Not sure who the manufacturer is, but you can find this on eBay for the 30 or so euros that I mentioned earlier. Again, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please drop a like, and if you like cars, subscribe to the channel. Take care. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.